What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy gangstaGURRY on the motherfucking track. And I have this iPhone propped up with a motherfucking zigzag Rillo wrapper right now because that's how real niggas do. Today is October 7th, 2019. I turned 30 in 20 days and I am gagging. Like, no, I'm gagging. Like I cannot believe. So I just want to make sure that we are aware that if this slips at any point, this is some real nigga shit, okay? Because your doll is really just trying to make some things work. Although, let's just begin by saying that my skin looks so amazing right now. Everybody's been like, oh my God, your skin looks so good, da-da-da. Let me tell you the routine, boo. B12, vitamin D3, vitamin C. I take a Men's Day tablet. I take chlorophyll every morning before I wake up. I've been like working out for the pause. If you're new here, hey, thank you for being here. My name is Gary, aka gangstaGURRY. I'm an educator, spiritual consultant, healer, all those things. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at gangstaGURRY. First off, this is my YouTube channel, The G Spot, where it's basically like me rambling and talking my shit for the last year of my 20s and into, you know, the next decade of my life. So being able to document that, so many wonderful things have been happening, so many things have been shifting. I've just been leaning into my truth, and I'm just documenting that along the way. Like, why not? You know what I mean? Like, these will come in handy at some point in my life, I'm very sure. But anyway, back to what I was saying, which I don't know what I was saying because I'd be losing my train of thought all the time. Oh, back to the routine. So I've been also, for maybe about a month or so, I've been like working out. And let's just say that your girl is not the type of bitch that likes to work out, okay? Like, the gym and me have never been friends. I don't know. I mean, like, the girls love to go to the gym. Like, the muscle girls be in the gym. They be doing the things. They be doing the things, honey. And me, baby girl, like, I'm just cute and happy to be here. Like, that's all I'm here for. So the gym has been a new experience. I've been kind of like, I was, you know, living my white woman fantasy where, you know, I get up every morning, go grab my coffee, my matcha latte, you know, walk around the neighborhood. Basically, all I was missing is the dog or like the child with the stroller or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? And I've, you know, has started doing that. I want to say around like the time that Virgo season has started. So like, if you know, Virgo energy is all grounding energy, it's earth energy. So it's all about just like making sure that you're like, you know, getting your house in order, like things are, you know, straightening up, whatever. And that's when I kind of like started the process. And then one day I was just like, I'm going to run this block. And I just started sprinting. And I think I cleared like 6 blocks in like a minute. And I was like, maybe you should start running more. And then after I had like my blessing happen, that night I went out and I just like ran because I had so much energy. And I was like, well, maybe, because, you know, Blink will take your money. And the thing about Blink, girl, is Blink will take your money and like you can't cancel over the phone. You have to go in person. And I'm just like, who has time for that? Like, if I'm trying to cancel, the last thing I'm trying to do is show up in person to cancel. So I'm not canceling. So I had been paying Blink for a couple of months for a membership that I was not using. And I was just like, actually, I'm going to go because this just makes no fucking sense. Like, okay, so let me grab this coffee because I know that I'm going to need this. And this water. See, this is another thing. Got to make sure I have my water. And it has, let me show you, a big fucking piece of crystal in it because your girl always has to make sure she is sucking down love, okay? So she's got a nice rose quartz in there. And this thing is a little wet. I don't know why. I think it's kind of like breaking, but anyway. So I started on the gym September 30th. And I've been in the gym now for 7 days straight. I take like a 2 or 3 day streak and then I take like a day of rest or whatever, you know, get my life together. Because let me just tell you guys, let me tell myself, these tarot card readings, like the readings have been popping. Like, of course, I'm always trying to bring in more because I love bringing in new people. And it also helps fill my bank account because there's so many things that are coming up soon. Like my birthday, there's a really huge opportunity that's coming up that I cannot wait to share. After, you know, things get kind of like teetered out or whatever. So for that opportunity, I need some coin to come in. And of course, just like for my birthday, I want to do something. Like, I haven't really planned what I'm going to do just yet. Like, people are asking, like, it's my 30th, like, I should have something planned. Girl, it's a lot. Let me tell you, trying to plan a 30th birthday party is a struggle. You want to know why? Because one, you have to make sure that all your niggas are ready to go. Sometimes all your niggas are not ready to go. So problem number one, problema numero dos, is that my first idea was to like go to this cabin, right? I was gonna go to the cabin. I'm gonna dedicate myself back to nature. I know that trying to get niggas to be able to take time out of their schedules to like go to a cabin at the very moment in time may be a little bit of a struggle. So, you know, a couple friends were like, oh, I won't be here. I've got something going on. And I was just like, okay, well, guess this isn't happening. And I don't necessarily want to do that by myself. It's not that I can't. It's just my idea of that type of birthday was not the thing. And we will see if I can untie this while I'm talking. That will be a task because I am not that girl. So basically, I kind of like shifted from the idea of a cabin for the birthday portion. Maybe do it at another time. Look at that, girl. I am learning, girl. So yeah, this is also, so these are two things. I'll tell you the story about these two things in a second because they're both very special. But anyway, so I've kind of like resorted to, not resorted, but like I would just like to go to a hotel, get a nice hotel, for like a couple of nights, and just stay there just to be able to enjoy and bring in 30 in, you know, that kind of environment where it's just luxurious. Like that's where I mean, my 30s deserve to be luxurious. Like, let's be real about it. I've been working really hard. I deserve this. And here we are. So my best friend wants to go hiking, and this will come up in a second, but we're gonna do like shrooms and like go hiking and stuff like that. And I actually had a little bit of a trip, a psychedelic trip, which I'm going to talk about because a lot of people have been asking about it, what it was like, what my experience was like with it, because it definitely brought up a lot of stuff. And I just want to share that knowledge because I feel like there's knowledge to share. But that's the plan, like go hiking, maybe do like a dinner with like some of my good Judies, you know what I'm saying? Something real cute, something real slight. You know how the girls like to do. I don't really like anything like this super extravagant anyway. I'm not used to a lot of attention. That's just not my like MO. Like I've always been kind of like I'm used to people knowing who I am, but also like it's always been a little weird for me to like get attention just in general. So I'm becoming more used to it, or just like allowing myself to be seen, because I think I've always struggled with that all my life because I've been told to kind of like shy away because of me being different, for whatever that means. I love it. I'm unique, one of a kind. That's me. You're famous, you're favorite, okay? But as I've been leaning into it more, it's just like, okay, we're here. This is what it is. We're rocking with it. And that's that on that. So I'm not necessarily sure what's going to happen. I'm also in this space of really just like leaving everything up to chance. And I feel like the feeling will come, or the blessing will come as far as like the finances, because let's be real, I'm still not working. I have been applying to different jobs and stuff like that, but not necessarily like your conventional jobs, like looking for becoming a reader. I've been kind of like studying also. So like as some of you guys may or may not know, I've been in Reiki school for about the last month and a half. I'm in Reiki master classes right now, which is really exciting. I'm also learning how to read the Akashic Records, which is basically accessing the files of your soul. So being able to offer that service, I've been really working on basically serving and giving Reiki to the community through trap music. So it's called Real Nigga Reiki, or RN Reiki for, you know, people that cannot say the word nigga. And basically what it is doing Reiki to trap music and targeting the lower chakras. So basically allowing the lower chakras to kind of like move around, so that way you can be a little bit more tapped into your identity, a little bit tapped more into just like the things that you really want to do. Shifting that around, kind of like taking out all of the energy that does not serve you and kind of like going on a ride. I've been practicing with a lot of friends lately. It's been really dope. They've been saying that they love it. And I'm excited to kind of like bring it to a larger scale. So we will see how that goes. And I mean, at the end of the day, I got my own little flair, and I mean, I'm just gonna work it out. So we'll see how it goes. It's just like there's so many things that are in the works. And I'm just letting things kind of like fall into place right now, because I feel like every single day that I kind of like wake up, it's a new fucking journey, okay? It's a new fucking journey. And all I can do is just lean into it. Case in point, this is how this shrooms journey even started. Now, I have to give the backstory on this, okay? Hood nigga bodega coffee. Get you some. Mm-hmm. But no, for, we hear about shrooms, and there's certain, like, drugs that people are always like, there's, like, because, of course, like, growing up, like, cocaine and, Molly and stuff like that was, like, but the girls were doing it all the time. And I cannot sit here and lie, like, I've not done that at some point in my life, but I'm grown. Whatever. And then, of course, shrooms was one of those things that, of course, like, I heard knew people that had it before, and I was always like, I wonder what that's going to be like, especially because of it being so connected to, like, a spiritual journey and stuff like that. So I've been very busy with readings, trying to get readings out of the door and stuff like that. It hasn't been difficult. It's just been more like trying to figure out how to maneuver that around, like, my time, and just, like, making sure that I am taking care of myself properly, because that's something I've always struggled with. And I don't need my passion to start inciting some of the same feelings that I was having in a job that I had no passion for. So I'm working on my own time, and it's been working out fine. Of course, it's new, so there's bumps along the road. But at the same time, it's something that works for me, and I love that. So I want to say it was this past Friday, I looked at my calendar, and I've become one of those bitches that, like, puts everything on her iCal. And I'm looking at my fucking calendar, and I'm like, wait, there's no dots on this day. When's the last time you had no dots on a day? So I was like, all right, cool. So you're just going to enjoy your day. You're not going to do any readings. You're not going to do a daily post. You're just going to live your fucking life and see what happens. I'm in the gym cycling, and I had, seen people, met, people around me that were close to me that started getting, like, connects, I guess you could say. And I was just like, So I'm in the gym, and then all of a sudden something's like, get it today. And I'm like, but I don't have the money. I mean, I do have the money, but should I be spending all this? Well, girl, you're not going to have any other time. Okay. So I knew how to get it, so I achieved it. And basically, the way that I thought about it was, this is an opportunity for you to go deeper within the soul. This is an opportunity for you to tap into the knowledge that is there. Like before, because I do a lot of, like, water meditations, as a water sign, Scorpio sun, Pisces rising, water meditations, dealing with water, one of my favorite things to do, where I find my most, like, peace. So in the shower that morning, or in the like, I was just like, you're gonna have the opportunity to meet the ancestors. Like, I'm gonna talk to them. I'm gonna be like, yes, bumping fists and shit, rubbing elbows and shit. So I'm looking forward to it. And of course, like, it's since my first time, you hear about making sure that you do it with, like, a buddy, or just, like, having, like, a sober friend, just in case you have a bad trip. That's how it felt, y'all. Sounds of the hood. I can't make this up, but that's really how it felt. It was a wild ass trip, y'all. The wildest ass trip. I don't know when that's gonna stop, so we're just gonna work through it. But anyway, I really had the opportunity to dig deeper. A girlfriend of mine, shout out to Mama Avisha, she was like, draw a picture, so I did. And in this picture, you can see, and I don't know if you can see if it'll flip, but it says, there tends to be so much love in the world when we open our eyes. Open up your eyes. And I was just in a happy place. Like, I truly was. Like, because at first I was, like, scared to do it by myself. But I was like, bitch, if you can't do this by yourself, how you gonna do anything? And in my mind also, I was in the mindset of, girl, you've been working out. You've been really learning how to, like, format and reformat your thoughts into what is going to be most beneficial for you. And this is going to come very important very soon. If you can't do this now by yourself, then you should really, like, start rethinking your spirituality, and just, like, if you can't do this in the comfort of your home, something is wrong, and you really need to tend to that. And I was just like, I don't feel any resistance. I do feel anxiety, but that's just because of me being excited. Like, this is something I've been, like, wanting to try. And I thought of it as a business trip, because it truly was something that, in this world and in this realm of spirituality and being able to connect with the ancestors, and having the veil so thin at this very moment in time, and some people not recognizing it, and some of us being gifted enough or blessed enough to be able to contact and be able to do the work that we do, whether it be tarot readings, whether it be bone readings, whether it be Akashic record readings. There's so many different things, candle work, whatever. I'm using this as an opportunity to further and deepen the type of work that I do. So I'm sitting in here, and I already, perform Reiki for myself and perform Reiki for others. and I've drawn this picture. I'm like finding music from like different artists, like especially just like for the things that I've been like creating and stuff like that, because I have a lot of fucking ideas in regards to what I feel like is like my next step as far as my journey is concerned. It's growing every day. I'm learning new things every day, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to just like tap in. I'm so big on knowledge and like picking things up, so that's why this was such an important thing for me. And as I was sitting here, I was just really just like in this space of just like we, you know, have the opportunity to tap into ourselves. But a lot of the times we don't know how to do that. A lot of the times we get confused on how to tap into ourselves and tap into our soul because we have not been taught to. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and I was telling her about how, you know, anxiety for us only comes from us having anxiety about being so great. Like if you think about it, and I say this in the most respectful way, but it's the best analogy I could come up with. You think of your typical hood nigga, right? Your typical nigga that has, you know, lived a certain type of lifestyle for a certain, you know, amount of time and has only seen something a certain type of way and has no desire to get past where they are. Like they've already hit their ceiling and they have no desire to go anywhere else. Or anybody that has lost that desire or that fire inside of their belly in order to keep going and trying new things. They may not let on their depression, their feelings of complacency, things of those nature. But when you are continually going for something that means a lot to you, when you are continually working very hard in order to connect and just like make changes and, you know, create shifts in your life, that's what causes anxiety, because it's just like you are always working to try and become better and do better, and you don't know which way you're going. So we only cause our own anxiety because we are always striving for more. We are always striving to grow. We are always striving to like make things much more clearer. And the more that you're doing that without having any idea about how to control your reality or just like how to control your brain and like your body, because a lot of us forget that the brain and the body is so powerful. If you think about it, I was reading something recently about how like when you sleep, you know, you go into this dream state, right? And this dream state is another reality. It's another like just being. It's another state of consciousness that you are entering. And you don't have any control over that sometimes. Some people do. Some people are gifted enough to be able to lucid dream and control those dreams and stuff like that. And then there are some people that really just are there, and sometimes you remember it, sometimes you don't. When you think about that and think about yourself on this physical plane, and think about how there's always things that are happening around you, but there are internal impulses and internal urges that are coming up for you that are going to kind of like push you in the right direction or push you in the direction that feels the most innate to you. Perfect example. So I'm flying, okay? I'm soaring, bitch, on Friday, and I'm waiting for my friend to get home. And something said that I wanted to get outside, so I was like, let me get to this park. And I was like, I'm gonna walk around this park, listen to this song that I just came across. Spectrum, I think is his name. He's an artist on Spotify, I believe. Magical work. So I'm having a whole moment, a whole scene. And then I'm like, I'm gonna take this long route to my friend's house. Literally pulled up right as soon as they pulled up. And that's because something internally said, nope, do this loop, give it time. By the time you get there, they'll get there. And as I'm like walking, it's like even with the cars, even with like everything in between, every single thing that happened was already divinely like, it was already divinely written. It was already gonna happen. It's just about me moving my own way and just being physically present in the moment. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of us forget to do. And when we finally get to that level of success where like the things that we idealize and the things that we want to do in our physical reality match each other, that's when we start to find joy, and that's when we start to find like grounding and start to find peace. And a lot of us don't get to that point because we get so stuck in this idea of just like, you know, reality, or just like what we want our reality to be, and not knowing how to put the pieces together to get to this place of just like, okay, things are good. So when we start to learn how to like control our thoughts, control our body, control our reactions to certain things, and that does take work, it takes practice. Like I'm scary when it comes to blood. I'm watching this show and blood starts coming on the screen or some wild ass shit, and I'm like, okay, this could turn into a bad trip, but I know that if I recite positive things to myself and tell myself that this is only just a moment in time, things have the opportunity to shift. My body reacted differently after I did that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like about remembering we are in control of that, and when we start to practice and process that, and really just lean into that truth, we start to see so much more instead of being confused. And that's what fucks our body up. Your brain is sending confused signals because sometimes it doesn't know what it wants. And it's just like you have to clearly and concretely state what you want to have and have parameters around it so that way you can truly inch towards it, right? That's like me doing this and doing what I do. I was doing an IGTV video recently, and somebody was like, well, how is it to start like a spiritual business like on your own? And I was like, me, moi, yo. Because I'm just like, girl, I'm just a nigga just out here trying to do a damn thing, okay? But it's just like because I've been consistently putting in and doing the best that I can every day. And also thinking about how I would want to be talked to and thinking about what I would need and trying to think about how I can serve others in that way. And I truly and concretely believe that when you move and flow with like what's innate to you and what's true to you, the universe will bless you. And, you know, whoever you believe in, God, the spirit, the ancestors, the ascended masters, they will bless you. But it's just about you having faith and you believing that, one, you deserve it, and two, you can make it happen. So I think there may have been something else that was going to come up. I really don't remember. But I know that experience was definitely very like eye-opening for me. What I will tell anybody is like you need to make sure that you feel like you are in a good place. And I know that some people look at it as just like opening up their eyes because it definitely allows you to connect with people on a different level, one. But two, it makes you reflect, inside yourself and look at your soul. And really look at like what's going on around you and how you kind of like process things. And of course, like the environment you find yourself in is also important. But at the same time, I would say definitely handle with caution. I'm not somebody that's like a master at it, but at the same time, I will be learning. I'm just going to say that and mark that here. I'm learning. But anyway, I definitely feel as though if it's something you're interested in, be careful. Make sure that you know where you're getting it from, especially if it's a connection from somebody else. And just take care of yourself. Like, I'm not somebody that's condoning drug usage in any kind of way. But at the same time, everybody has their lived experience and everybody has things that they want to try out. And who am I to judge what somebody else is doing? And who are you to judge what somebody else decides to do? So that's that on that. But on top of this, so this wasn't just a 24-hour trip. This ended up as a 48-hour trip because my friend that I ended up spending time with the day before, wanted to continue the journey. And I was like, well, the Lord has something in store. Because I needed some answers as far as a nigga was concerned. Dun, dun, dun. And let me tell you, I got them answers, and the answers definitely came in the form of me crying, girl. But it was something that I knew that I needed because it was something that had been weighing on me for like 5-6 months. And I needed some clarity in what direction it was going. And because of the way that I received it, one, I also realized we sometimes like to control how we respond to things, and we don't need to do that. We just need to kind of like let the emotions come up, and then when you let them come out, you can process things so much easier. Because an older version of me would have felt how I felt and then felt how I felt and left it at that and would have been salty, right? But, I've gotten to a point where I'm actually very proud of myself where I can address the situation on my own time, and then in a way where it's like respectful and still be able to move in a respectful manner. And everybody's not able to do that. And I can honestly say that at one point I was not able to do that. But I also learned that, I'm impatient. I definitely know this. Sometimes I am working on making sure that like I can read signals, because also sometimes niggas give confusing signals. I'm just gonna be honest here, but just making sure that I'm paying attention to everything, and then also keeping my heart still open, because through all of this and through all of the things that have happened, because I actually have a little gift. Not a gift, but there's this thing that I have. It's called a sweetening jar. My friend Brandon, Cosmic Frequency, 2 C's in Cosmic, and obviously Frequency. Y'all should be able to spell that, and if not, you probably aren't old enough for my page. Gave me this sweetening jar. Her name is Linda. Linda says she doesn't want to be seen anymore. So Linda is my sweetening jar, and it's just like something that I've been doing as far as just like my own personal self-love and just like bringing in love in the direction that I want to. Because I'm gonna be real, and I feel like I've talked about this. There's a video that I should probably be putting up very soon, or I probably will put it up tonight from like August, but it was just like, I'm in the business of finding a husband. Like there have been so many, like I've been getting not lots of readings, but like people have been like, I want to do this for you. And I'm like, if the energy is proper and the Lord and the Spirit leads me to let somebody do something as far as like divination is concerned, obviously there's a message that needs to be heard. So I've been getting a lot of like child messages, like relationship messages, like, you know, career messages, just a lot of different stuff. And I mean, I'm in the business of a husband, boo. Like, not necessarily like manifesting that in this very like today, but at the same time getting the building blocks down as far as a relationship is concerned that's going to be long standing, a divine partnership. And I know that a lot of us out there have been noticing, like I've been noticing 2222 every night as far as like and 2 is all about love and relationships, and I've been getting 6s as far as like my daily dice rolls and stuff like that, and seeing that number a lot. So I'm just like, I don't know if it's where it's coming from. I have to have faith that it's coming because I know that it's coming, and I also feel like I'm at the best place in my life. Like, girl, I don't have, like, my A cups have gone down to double A's. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm starting to see my body transform. I'm seeing my mind transform. I'm seeing like my spirit transform. I'm seeing the way in which I do things transform. It's just a complete transformation that's right on time for this new decade of life, because I know that I have so much more life to live, so much more to give, and so much more to like offer and learn and be able to take on as far as this world is concerned and what there is to offer. And as far as my knowledge, like that's why I started doing what I do, is just to share information and just to be able to give in the way that's most innate to me. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, especially like in the workforce and stuff like that, because let's be real, I was in the workforce technically, I mean, for 10 years maybe. But then in like the workforce, like, you know, post collegiate type workforce for like 5 years. And those are some of the wildest 5 years of my life. No bullshit. But it's just because the way that I function, the way that I conceptualize things, it doesn't always fall in line with what other people think. And I'm not confrontational, but I'm also at the same time not the type of person who likes to sit around and be like, well, I'm just going to sit and, you know, even if I know better, like I feel like it is my duty and my job to be able to share. And I know how to take a back seat and I'm a team player, but at the same time, if I have something to offer, I want to be able to offer it. And if it doesn't come in the typical package, then you know what I'm saying? And that was what was struggling for me with the job hunt, was because it was like applying and everybody be like, you're great, but there's like this one thing, like literally like one thing about like the resume, or like one thing that wouldn't match up with like the timing or something, just something random. And I'm just like, this isn't the direction. So listening and seeing those calls, because that actually is what's gotten me here to this point, is listening to those calls and paying attention to direction that things are happening. And all I can do is just be me and live in my truth. And the more that I live in my truth, the more that I feel and hope and pray that I can be an inspiration to somebody else to just live authentically, because not everybody was telling me to live authentically growing up. And I would think about and try to channel the energy of what I did not receive growing up. That's why I taught for so long, and that's what I always taught and told my students. Like, I want to be what I didn't get. And if I can do that in some kind of way and leave an impact in some kind of way, whether it's with a family, a student, whatever, another teacher, a fellow teacher, then so be it. But who knows? But anyway. But yeah, I got my little heart broken, but I'm good. And the funny thing about it is, like, it wasn't even a confidence blow. It was more like other people got other things to work on, and that is not your lane. That is not something you need to be concerned about. You just can continue. All you can continue to do is live your life, boo. Like, that's all you can do. So I want to implore you and ask you to just be authentic. When you start moving in your flow, you'll notice the vibe of it changes. And what I mean by your flow is just like moving in a way that is feeling like it makes your soul light on fire. And I don't mean that in some woo-woo wild way. I mean that in some real nigga shit. Like, it just makes you feel like you are invincible. And when you find that, and when you lean into that, and when you share that with others, and when you allow other people to be a part of that, like, reality for you, things can change. But it's all about you understanding that, like, that's part of your truth, and that's part of, like, what you deserve. That's part of, like, you being in this lifetime. We are in these physical bodies in order to have these experiences, and we are here forgetting that it's a spirit, it's a soul that resides inside of us, and it has desires and it has things that it needs to fulfill in this lifetime. And when we go against that, we find ourselves in spaces that do not feel comfortable, do not feel good, and do not feel safe for us. And when it doesn't feel that way, that's when you know that you should be shifting in a different direction. And if you are not recognizing that, or if you're not learning that, or if you're not listening to that impulse or that call, that's when you are out of alignment, and you have to figure out what's going to get you back into the place that you're going to feel the best. If I can leave you with anything, I hope that I leave you with that. But we're at 30 minutes, and I know it's time for me to go, because, girl, the sounds, it's that time. But again, I'm gangstaGURRY, Gary. I cannot believe I'm turning 30. I'm so blessed. I really thought at one point I was going to be a part of the 27 Club. And I heard somebody else say that for the first time in my life recently, and I'd never heard anybody else say that my whole life. A friend of mine, and the fact that I've made it this far, and I know that I have so much further to go, and I have so much more to share. I'm so excited. And I'm looking forward to all this to come, and just the journey, and being able to continue to do this and continue to grow with this too. But if you are interested in hollering at me, gangstaGURRY on Twitter and Instagram, gangsta with an A, because we don't do that ER buster shit over here. Gangsta, GANGSTA, GURRY. You obviously are here, so you know that this exists. Subscribe if this is interesting to you. If you would like to see more of me as I develop and grow, because who knows where I'm fucking going. But all I know is I'm going up from here, and I'm thankful for that. All I can do is be grateful. So I'm be coming to a city near you. I'm gonna go ahead and say that now. I'm coming to a city near you, so just watch out for me. Okay. Let me hop off of here, because I got shit to do, and it's already about to be 8 o'clock, girl. Hallelujah, holla back.